car order. It's always been car order.
I strongly disagree.
That's the way it is. Rip him out through the window in a nice way.
Just so I can go down and drink a carton while everyone punches on.
Just pisses me to tears. That's the worst thing you can do.
You shut up, you hack. Talking about boat ramps, this is what I wanted to get through from the start. What he said.
Oh, you just been an idiot.
All right. Welcome to Chumming Up, the ocean adventure, spearfishing and fishing podcast that's like Bitcoin because everyone's talking about it. Mainly it's just costing me money. I'm Squirrely, and as always, my co-host is with me, Lee Leewald Mitchell. How you going, big horse?
Yeah, good, Squirrels. Happy to be here.
Yep. It's going to be an exciting episode.
Going to be a great one. I like this one.
Yeah. Didn't get out fishing today, but we got out fishing yesterday. Got a few fish, couple double header, and one of the biggest skipjacks I've ever seen. Yeah,
it's a shame that they're not really prestigious or good for much because it was an absolute thumper. I've never seen one that big. Had all battle scars on him, the whole bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, weird thing. Anyway, better get to this because this is going to be awesome. With us today, just absolutely smashed world record tiger shark. So first off, the Tiger Queen, and it's not Carol fucking Baskins. It's Bri Bollard. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Squirrely.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming. And with you is the Punisher, Ian Huxter, or just the Punisher.
Yep, how you going, mate?
Good, mate. So, straight up, world record holders. How good does it feel?
Not yet. Pending.
Pending world record holders. Are you excited? Happy?
Oh, it's good, yeah. Had a plan, went out and everything went to plan.
Succeeded.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously, tell us about the fish. How'd you...
Do you want
it all come about?
From the beginning?
Yeah, from the start. Like,
from the start.
Where time began.
Once upon a time. How did it come that we wanted to actually kill the shark?
I think we were just sort of having a bit of a look around and flicking through the record book one day, and there was a few records that we had a look at that were up there for grabs. So we thought, we sort of went out aiming for an Australian record, and then the world record sort of came after that when the shark was big enough.
Yep. Yeah. So this wasn't the first tiger that you caught that you thought you had a world record on?
The previous one we thought we had the Australian record stitched up.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when the line was sent away to be tested, it broke under 3 kilo.
Yep.
And it was lodged as a 4 kilo record. So
how big was that shark?
73.4.
So 73.4 kilo tiger shark on what was supposed to be 4 kilo line?
Yep.
And it broke a 3 kilo line?
Yep.
And you don't get the record?
No.
Even though technically that's harder?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they have a reason for that? Is there?
It's the lines classified as what it breaks at. So because we entered it as a 4 kilo record and it broke under 3 kilo, they classed it as 3 kilo.
Yep.
So, basically if we'd put 3 kilo on the paperwork, we would have got it. But
yeah, and once it does that, you can't.
It's all done and dusted then.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bugger too because it's so shrouded in mystery and they won't tell you properly how it goes about. But is there a percentage for movement? Because from 4 to 3 doesn't take much to happen.
No.
But if you were fishing 24 kilo and it broke at 23, it would still clarify as a 24 kilo. Yeah. So it's that much rubbish in it.
There's not a lot of room to play with on them light lines. It's all, it's very small margins.
No. I don't see how if something breaks under, it still doesn't qualify. Like if you're fighting a fish for 6, 7, 8 hours, the line's going in and out of the guides constantly, weed is potentially touching the line or a jellyfish or any number of occurrences, of course that line is going to diminish in strength once it's tested. If it breaks over, yes, it's not the line class.
Yep.
If it broke at 1 kilo and they wanted to claim the 4 kilo, it broke under. It should qualify. It baffles my mind.
Yeah, it seems strange to get no benefit and then not be able to claim something. It just seems weird.
No.
But I get confused by a lot of the fishing sort of stuff. I think on a completely different thing, I actually spoke on your behalf, which I shouldn't have, on one of these podcasts when I was in Perth about the spearfishing records, and I probably didn't have any idea. But from memory, did you put one in that you should have got and it got lost or something?
Yeah, I don't want to get too off track from from what we're here for. But yeah, same thing. So basically, for me, it's almost so corrupt, all these things, where any record, you need so many people. Like these guys have gone out, caught a shark, which was a potential Australian record at the time. There's the angler, the skipper, and a mate or two. Then when you weigh it, you've got a certified weighmaster. All of these things come in to check, and then you've got a committee that runs the club. Everything's multiple people watching. Then you send it away, and it tapers up to one person, and they just say yes or no, and you never hear from them, and there's no documentation of what's happened. It's like, so it's so open for corruption at the top. My spearfishing record, I sent my money away. They took the money, never heard back from them. There was no yes, no, maybe.
That was
told them they could get fucked for the rest of the days, basically.
Yeah, that was a green jobfish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a green jobfish.
So, my point was just, I don't know, when you have these records that get knocked down because of certain things, I think it just takes away a little bit, even if it's only small, of credibility for the next time you go out. Like if you know that someone's already caught something better, like say if someone else the next day caught a 74 kilo, or what was it? 72 kilo tiger shark on the 4 kilo line, like that wouldn't be the record in your eyes. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
The lack of feedback makes it very hard too, because you don't really know where you've gone wrong. So it's like, what do I change for next time?
Yeah.
We didn't get any feedback at all, and we had people chasing up like what happened, because they just come back and said no, and then I received this 20-1 merit certificate for 3 kilo, and I was like, oh, so the line broke under 3 kilo then. And
okay,
everyone's
so
just
that
sort
was
of like,
the workout.
Yeah, must have.
Yeah.
So I had a similar thing before we get to where we're trying to get. My son, a few years ago, caught a 5.9 kilo queenie on 4 kilo.
Yep.
That was an Australian small fry record at the time. Paid the $20 or $30, 10 and 20, is it? Something like that? Yeah. Sent it away, nothing. Had it a heap of times with different records from GameX where you don't hear anything, but because it was my son at the time, finally got back to me 18 months later and just said no. And I said, why? And they just said, oh, it's been that long, we don't know now. It's like, I've been contacting you once a month, and now I've got to tell my son hasn't gone through. And that was the same line, because I was lazy, didn't even change it, on the same spool and rod and reel as we'd claimed a 4 kilo world record, another fish on. And that had passed. And it went world. State Australian and world. And then this queenie didn't. So, there's no part like the one that went under and they said it was 3 or whatever. There should be certificates sent from the line testing machine that prints them like a police officer's breathalyzer that they can't tamper with, that just does it.
Shows you where it's at.
Prints it.
Yeah.
They send it to you and it says this is what it was. Not this is what we seen it was. This is what it was.
Yeah.
And then it's open. Like at least tell, but you can't, they don't tell anyone.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you don't get better as an angler or crewman unless you do know. So you can work around things, especially when you are spending a lot of time and money chasing records.
And you don't know who to blame, which is the main thing about
I think
fishing.
that's why they don't tell you, so you can't sue them or something.
I was thinking more just on the boat, just so you can point someone. You fucking cost us.
Yeah.
But see, that's another thing. I don't quite know what the machines are. I've tried to Google them, but because it's really hard.
Yeah.
But I would love our club, the Exmouth Game Fishing Club, to purchase one. And then, well, that's what we're there for, claiming records and stuff. Then before it gets sent away, you could test it. And whether it means anything or not, you have a certificate signed off by the club president, weighmaster, goes with it. And if theirs doesn't marry up, well, there's nothing you can do about it. But there's some sort of accountability. And it'd be awesome for like GameX and stuff like that. You don't have to use it on every fish, but, people want to see that sort of stuff. I think it'd be a good thing.
Yeah. No, that's it. I mean, I don't know how much searching you've done to look for those machines. Like, you
Just Google.
don't know what it is. Yeah. Well, that's as much searching as anyone does, isn't it?
That's handy because we were talking about getting one. So if you can't find it,
Yeah. I know. I do think Helco or someone like that might have one.
Okay.
Because I think like I might be wrong, but it'd be nice to talk to someone like, is it Ben Patrick, I think, has Helco. They might test like strength of hooks and split rings and stuff with it, or, where they hook them up. And
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would believe someone like that would probably be the person to talk to. And I would love for our club to buy one. I think it would be a great club tool.
Oh, definitely.
yeah, definitely.
Since we're all out there chasing records a lot of the time, so
Yep. I suppose we haven't actually even said that it's a female world record as well. So you were the angler.
Yes.
On both
I
of them?
was. Yep.
And so after you missing that first national record, you went out chasing,
Well, we went out to just catch the Australian record, hopefully get the world record, because after we had gaffed that 73 kilo tiger shark, we hooked about 300 kilo on 3 kilos straight after, and we're going to neck that and go for the 3 kilo record, 2 sharks one day. But Ian had the wire, had that awesome wrap, and basically that shark snapped the wire.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, just
So, yeah, and then after we got knocked back from the previous record, we thought, we'll go out and get another one.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of got a few boys together and decided to go out and have a decent crack at it. And yeah, the first weekend we weren't so successful. We had on about a 200 kilo hammerhead.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Just fishing the same, just
Fishing
chumming
4
up
kilo,
and then,
yep, just
yep.
Bit of burley in the water and
Yeah. I'm guessing the hammerhead would have been pretty tough on.
the boys were like, we had a different crew compared to the first time I'd done it, and the boys were a lot more sober this time. So if we're going to go back to the start, we'll go back to the start. I think the boys had been on about a 5-day bender.
Yeah.
Ian
They're like, this is a good time to catch a shark.
may
We've all been there.
Yes, yeah. So the lead up to it was they're like, let's go kill something, yeah. And then, I think Ian may have peed on me. And then,
Yeah, this is getting better.
Hang on, just
Rewind.
deliberately or?
no,
it was just
highly
while I was
intoxicated.
asleep,
Highly
back end of the bender.
intoxicated.
Oh, in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought you
And,
just were like,
yeah, no,
fuck
I
it.
didn't,
We've all been there
ask, Yeah, I didn't ask for it.
Oh, yeah.
As you could probably tell, I was not impressed.
Yeah.
I think the night before they rang me at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm still working at this stage. And
Because you don't drink.
No, I don't drink.
So, of course,
And
good
so
call
I'd
to
gone
pick
to
that.
bed.
yeah, perfect croak.
Ian told me he wasn't going to the pub. He went to the pub. He rang me at 3 o'clock in the morning saying that some teeny bopper had punched his mate out. and that I needed to come and get them. So I drive there. Anyway, it took me 3 hours to get his mate home. So I was pissed off. I had to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
You were pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
then
was
you were pissed on.
Yeah, yep. And then that happened to me. So then I got home from work and, yeah, they were still on it. And then they're like, let's go to Eddie's and rig up all the gear. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck. Like, I don't know how this is going to go, but whatever. Then Ian may have ran around a venue, which I won't mention the name of, naked.
Yes.
And then, yeah, we went and got that shark and they drank more.
I think that's the start of most world records,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Usain Bolt did the same thing before he came out and took the 100-metre record, I think.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
drunk
I think
for
the
5
moral
days
of the
of
story
piss
is
on
if
someone.
you know, take your missus out and catch her record, you can get away with pretty much anything.
Yeah, the lead up to it. But yeah, so this time we had different crew, even though they did talk about like Ian has to, you know, keep the tradition. I wasn't okay with that.
Keep the good juju.
Yeah. But the tradition did not pay off. So yeah. And the boys were not impressed that I didn't take rum.
Okay.
So next thing. So who was on the leader for this one?
JB.
Okay. And how did he go with it? Good?
Yeah, he did a real good job on it. He was sort of got wraps on it straight up.
Yep.
He had a
And,
bit of practice the day before.
yeah, he leaded one about 100 kilos the weekend before, and we end up not taking that one because we snapped the line on the leader.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so this time he thought it was going to be a bit easy because the one the week before wasn't pulling that hard on him. And then all of a sudden he parked his ass on the deck and got his feet up on the gunnel hanging on because this one wasn't very happy when he started pulling on it. And
Yeah, right.
Because, I mean, that's where the adrenaline is on the wire to a really big shark, I imagine. I've never done it, but I assume that's where your pupper valve starts clenching.
Yeah.
And they roll up in it too. Did it roll up the line?
This
Shorten
one
it on
didn't
you?
roll much. He was rolling in the right direction. He was rolling
Yeah.
away from us.
Yeah.
So it made it a lot easier to pull them gaffs into him as well.
Did you get him in the gills or mouth, or did someone get him?
First one went through sort of midships.
Wow. So sharp gaff thing, 'cause that's
Yeah,
not
well,
easy to do.
After what happened the weekend before, I'd spent a little bit of time on the file and made him a bit sharper. And then, and then the next one went into the gills and got it tied off nice and short. And then the real hard work began. We had to try and get it in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what weight? I don't think we've asked the whole time. This second one, what was the weight of it?
129.7.
Yeah, okay. And it was on 4 again?
On
Yep,
4
on
kilo
4
line.
kilo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how long fighting it was?
The GoPro said 12 minutes and it was 48 seconds between grabbing that wire and getting the gaff in,
Yep.
basically. It was fast.
Yeah, rightio. And then just what happens next?
then
Just
about-
celebrations?
No, and then
Oh,
about
we
2
once
hours.
it was
of-
tied off nice and tight, we had a celebratory beer or two.
Yeah.
And a few high fives got thrown around the back of the boat. And then we decided we had to try and get it in the boat for the run home because we had a fair way to go to get home. And, my boat's got quite high sides on it. So, we're struggling to get it over the sides. So went into the beach nearby and had 2 boys in the water pushing up.
Yeah.
And me on the boat pulling on ropes and dragging back, and then Bri trying to hold the front of the boat as the waves are smashing it into the beach. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, rightio.
yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, I really need to go to the toilet. I've been hanging on, so I'm like peeing in the water, not realising that JB's drowning right there, trying to push this shark up, got his head in the water, and I was like, oh, I'll tell you afterwards.
It's a common theme going on.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be so much pay in this story, but I'm loving
sharks
it.
love it.
Yeah, must be. That's where it's at. So you brought it in down to the EGFC. Was it promoted the weigh-in?
No, it wasn't.
no?
But the club was actually doing their yearly presentation.
Yeah,
that
okay.
night. So there was quite a few members down there when we went down, and a few spectators when we hung it up, and
Yep.
Yeah, I was there for the presentation night and got to watch it get weighed. It's actually a really cool looking shark. Like, it was everything you want in a tiger shark. He had the staunch, broad head, and he had like a full gut on him like me. And it looked awesome. I thought he had like a whole turtle or something in him.
So
but
did I. I was like, it's either got to be pregnant. I'm like, Ian, we've got to stitch its mouth shut. Like, baby's going to fall out or something, like, just to stop the guts.
But
Coming out,
it was quite empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just really big livers.
Yeah, right.
That's what was filling that.
Making it
big
really.
gallop on it. Yeah, that's
Yep.
what made it so fat.
Yeah, okay.
He probably got a drinking problem like the rest of them.
Been in there on the piss, literally.
So do you know if that was would that be an intentional thing at the clubs now, not to put out about sharks getting weighed, or is just not a...
Probably, but I don't think anyone knew, did they? I didn't even know you were
No,
bringing
like
one
they
in.
don't. Obviously, when people are weighing a marlin or whatever, that will go on Facebook.
Yep.
But I think after GameX, 4 years ago,
4 or 5, yeah.
there was a couple of issues when they weighed the shark with
Yep.
major sponsorship and a lot of death threats and whatnot. But I have not received a death threat the
Yeah.
first time or the second time, so I'm a little bit disappointed.
I don't know if you know how
really-
the internet works, but I don't know if you want to ask for it.
Yeah, I know, but at least like one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squirrely
Yeah.
can get one now
Yeah.
for the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, not like, I think.
So you have posted photos of both the first one and
Yep.
this one.
Yeah.
Online.
And the first one
They're-
had the gaff shots, had like the blood, the guts. Like,
Yep.
I made a really good video. Yeah, had a bit of death metal going on. Yeah, and nothing. Everyone's
Yeah.
like,
So any negative comments or anything?
no.
Lots of
Not
support.
to my face anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Strange.
most fishermen want to see a shark go,
Yeah.
really.
Before you go out there and chase the tiger shark, was there any thoughts about that? I know just like the negative feedback or anything biting any sort of...
Yeah, not really.
Business
I
or-
think we're not doing anything wrong out there. We're not going out taking tons of sharks. We just, we've got our target set on that 1 or 2 fish that are the right fish for us.
Yep.
And I think Exmouth could probably do with a few more getting taken out of the ecosystem. Listen to a lot of the recreational fishes that are out there at the moment. But yeah, we're just targeting them records really. So
Yeah.
we're-
Did AGFC posted the first one though, didn't they?
No.
Oh, they haven't? No, okay.
But yeah, but that doesn't matter. I put it up on my Facebook. I did rub out like the sponsors and stuff like that, just in case it went a bit viral. And
Yep.
even though most of the sponsors were like, "Oh, we didn't see our sign," and I'm like, "No, I rubbed it out due to basically people may send you death threats and target you specifically."
Yeah.
And I don't want that from my doing.
Yep.
So it's just a safety precaution, but
Yeah, I think in the first one, they got one of the wrong businesses and started sending threats to one of the companies that wasn't an actual sponsor. They just had a similar name or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big tiger that they weighed, wasn't it? That was
Yeah, that was Hornhart's one that got the attention then. That was the biggest game fish that had been landed in WA before Peak Sports Fishing Blue Marlin. I think it was like 430 something kilos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But size shouldn't matter.
so what she tells you, Punnett.
I've been saying that for years.
But I'm a bit of as a sponsor of the club personally, I'm a bit of the opposite opinion that there's no such thing as bad advertising.
Yeah.
Like, I think that if it brings negative attention to your company, it's attention. And particularly our game fishing club, like social media the way it is, there might be 100,000 no's written on there, people that hate it, but there will be 500,000 yeses that aren't written. For every person that goes, they shouldn't be doing that, there's 10 people looking at it going, I want to do that. Where are they, And, Exmouth in particular has a shark fishery that Florida and places around the world where they celebrate shark fishing and love it would dream to have. We have the shark fishery of all shark fisheries here, So, the green groups and that are sooking and hating are never going to go spend $1 at our club and buy a beer anyway. They don't want a queenie getting killed, let alone a shark. So,
And the other thing is, where do you draw the line? Like, they'll cry over weighing a marlin. It's just a fish. It's no different to a cod or a trout that they eat. But, they cry before we know it. You're not going to be allowed to weigh marlin because everyone will sook, even though it's just the size. It's not the fish.
Yeah.
People have no issue eating a 40-year-old cod that's probably, 60 centimetres or something. But because there's 100 kilo plus marlin strung up,
Yeah.
you can't do that. It deserves to be released.
Yeah, definitely
People
the
have
size
the
of venison.
wrong idea. Same as shark fishing, really.
Yeah.
well, definitely, yeah.
If Rec Fish West had an issue with us shark fishing, they wouldn't allow, 4 in your bag limit?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't
Never
bag
tried
out
to
on
catch
sharks.
4 sharks.
Don't bag out.
Yeah, it's not something
I
go
like where you're
after.
going with
Are
it.
you sure? I'm sure there's plenty of people that have a pretty good hookup rate on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're putting them in the boat to Cape though.
Yeah.
we didn't get too many anyway. I do think though, I don't think that you'll be able to weigh in these types of sharks in the near future. I seem to.
That is probably the way it's going to go, I think.
Yeah.
But, at the moment it's perfectly legal for us to go out and chase them, and
Yep.
we may as well fill these records while we can, because like you say, in the future they may stop all that. They've stopped a lot of it down south. So
Yeah, well, I mean, the down south of WA regulations are kind of weird to me that they've put the upper size limit on whalers, which include tiger sharks. I don't understand what the intention is there. So you're only allowed to catch and kill small whalers and tigers, but not big ones. I don't really get that.
I think that's the intention, isn't it? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. It's like what Bri touched on. General public opinion is across the board on all animals that size does matter. So they do not want the public perception of larger animals being killed. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. But, I would have thought if you're going to go that way, you'd just say whalers, all of them, not allowed to catch them.
Yeah, I think
Just
they're just
seems
trying to
weird
keep everyone happy
in
because
between.
it's politics and they're all soft as shit, But I think we're losing the fact too that this particular fish is a world record. There's never been a female angler catch a tiger shark of that size on 4 kilos ever before. So it's not like everyone's out there just doing it. It's never been done. It's pretty awesome.
And we would be lying if we said it was easy.
Yep.
Like it's not.
Yeah. Which has got to be rewarding in itself.
Yep.
I mean, if it did come so easy, it wouldn't, it wouldn't be worthwhile.
I think that previous record, if I do get it, was actually a junior. So, yay, I beat a kid.
It's like Squirrely at the pub again.
Yeah. Hey, a win's a win.
But, well, that's it. But you don't really see people going out and targeting them, which I would like to see more girls do it.
Yep.
But see, again, that's where I think you find some places there is. It's just we don't see it here a lot. But the east coast of Australia, shark fishing is huge. Like, it's absolutely massive. People love tiger shark fishing. There's people that just do that, So it's not like no one's doing it. It's just no one that we see is doing it, there would have been a lot of people target that record in over time, I believe.
Yeah. So, but besides the records, do you still get, like you obviously do a fair bit of bill fishing as well for marlin and sailfish. Do you get that rush from the catching the sharks or hooking the sharks?
Yeah,
Or is it
definitely.
just the catching the record?
For me, light line is mentally challenging in comparison to catching billfish, which is physically
Yeah.
exhausting. Yeah. So you can spend hours on light line and basically you got no drag, you got nothing. It's basically the fish is right there and you're chasing it and you just need to get that wire. You just keep like winding probably a little bit too hard than I should because you just get frustrated. But yeah, I'd probably say definitely mentally messes with you.
Yeah, we still get out and chase billfish and do that too. And yeah, there's always, always something to go and chase here in Exmouth. Is the beauty of living here. We can go chase queenies and on light tackling in the Gulf. We can go out and chase marlin, blacks, blues, stripes, sails.
Yep.
Or we go shark fishing.
Yeah.
But we'd, try and do a bit of everything really, and hopefully come home with a fish every now and again.
I don't go bottom fishing. I will not catch food.
Yeah, okay.
I draw the line. No, I hate it.
Just out of interest, or you just morally against eating
No,
fish?
once you just pull up and basically that boat's just sitting there and I'm just like, ugh, I'm going to be sick. And then, I just find it boring. But sitting there on a bloody burley bin for like hours on end is not boring.
No one's pissing on you. It's just boring as shit. Yeah, rightio. You got any more questions, Leewald?
So I suppose. So there has this particular shark being that it goes through as the world record, which is a good feat in itself. You didn't let the mishap before stop you, encouraged you. Do you want, what's next? Do you want to get another one, or has that satisfied the hunger?
I have had a little attempt of chasing blue marlin on a 10 kilo.
Fuck.
Yeah, so far and I lost a stripe on 4 kilo, which I majorly stuffed up. There was like just bird's nests, and then I put my thumb on the spool, which you just don't do, and then created a bigger issue. And I was just like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. But definitely try and get a blue on 10 and 4 and 6 and 8.
Okay, so that's just for you, or is the 10 in particular like an achievable world or Australian record?
The Australian record's achievable.
Okay, what are we looking at?
I think it's 72.
Yep.
Which most blues here are
Yep.
bigger than that. So basically anything at 70 kilo to 1,000 pound or whatever, we're chucking 10 at. There's no and
1,000-pounder on 10.
We sort of we're not picky on that. But yeah, I think Ian wants to get a black marlin on 4, but I haven't let him fish in over 2 years.
I just get to drive the boat these days, so
Yeah.
So what's the 4 black?
well, when I first started chasing, it was 30 kilos, but now it's up to about 70, I think.
And that's Australian or
That's
world?
Australian.
Okay.
So the world's a fair bit bigger, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't mind the hammerhead world record. That's pretty small on 3 and 4.
so
Yep.
there's plenty of achievable ones out there. There's especially living here. There's a lot of different options and species that we can chase, and you just have a bit of a flick through the book and go, well, that's something wouldn't mind having a crack at, and go out and try and target it, and
Some
you
hit
win
home,
some, you lose some.
but some hit home more than others, don't they? Like a world billfish record is something very exceptional, because it's so hotly contested. So,
definitely.
something like that. Like I was just going back onto myself. I'd love to get the it's only Australian as well, but the first Australian sailfish caught on 1. And I believe our Gulf fishery is achievable
definitely.
for that.
Oh, definitely,
You get lots of shots and it could be done, and I think that would be a cool fish to get. But the world is like 70 kilos from Guatemala or some ridiculous. It's some ridiculous where you're like, I haven't even seen one that big.
A lot of them are like, you look at the Australian, then you're like, yeah, I could do that. That's achievable. Then you look at the world and you're like, yeah, right. Like the light line classes are bigger than the heavier line classes, and some are like the female marlin records are like 4, or even the tiger records are like 400 kilos plus, and I'm like, I don't think we're gonna see one like that. But you never know.
Yeah.
You will see them.
You'll see
And
them
you need the fish
catching
do
it.
the right thing for you.
Yeah, I think that's the hard bit. Like that one.
I've personally been.
Some are uncatchable,
Yeah.
but some that do the right thing, any fish is catchable on the tackle at the time if it does the right thing for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Definitely a good crew. Like, obviously without Ian, Scotty and JB, I never would have got that record.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's right too. Like I think that's played down a bit. Like you 4 guys are very competent, like fishing people. That's a thing. It's not just we just
I'm just going to catch a
pissed on
world
each
record.
other and went out.
Yeah.
Like it's good crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even
more to it.
Brendy and Louie, like the first time, definitely, even though they were heavily drunk, but you still, I still had confidence in them. I didn't have confidence in. We had a lemon shark up, which later on wouldn't have mattered anyway because you can't claim a record, but we didn't know at the time. Ian had the gloves off, had the wire at the rod tip. Eddie rang. He's on the phone to Eddie. And, totally missed it. So
at least there's some blame to give away
Oh.
there. That's
the
all
finger
you're
was
looking for.
pointed that day, don't you worry about that.
I think we had it a bit on like footage, and you can just hear me breathing. I'm like just stewing, sitting there like. Then just started yelling. So banned from phones when fish are on. That's a major thing.
Yep.
But just.
So between the two of you, is that personally, like each one of you, the number one fish that you've got,
as a world record, definitely it's one of the greatest captures. It's a big shark on light line.
Yep.
You don't see too many fish like that caught.
Yep.
There's
world record.
Yeah.
It's the only one.
Definitely doesn't seem real. Like, obviously, after the first one got knocked back, and when you apply for a world record, it still has to go to the Australian, or whatever that guy's name is. I can't
Well,
remember.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
He forwards it on.
If you don't claim
The Australian
straight
record.
state and Australian, that's that's a cheeky way I've heard of before.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
You just don't claim them. You just claim the world.
Yeah.
Then you bypass them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what
That's
I
why they
understand
don't think
is
Australia's real.
Yeah.
They're like, well, how'd they get the
it's sort of
world
like,
record?
Well, he knocked me back the first time, so he may knock me back the second time.
Yeah.
Fingers
I
crossed,
think
like,
it goes through him, but he doesn't actually. He just forwards it on to them. So,
Okay. I don't
and
know.
then once it's accepted by the IGFA,
It feeds back.
then GFAA will accept their findings. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
Hopefully they're all happy with everything we've done this time.
Otherwise, we might have to get you on next time after you
Yeah,
get the
well-
record.
yeah.
Go out, get a bigger one. They keep almost doubling in size, so the next one will be real impressive.
That's it. So, is there any other fish before that you've caught that stands out? Any big captures, or is that the standout by a long way?
Oh, definitely, I think that one is a sound. There's 600-pound blacks and 600-pound blues and things like that.
Yeah.
But, they're all on heavy tackle, so
Yeah.
they're not quite
Doesn't
the
count.
same.
The fish I have lost have been really impressive.
Yeah.
Join the queue.
Yeah, I've lost some bloody good fish.
Yeah.
I tell you. If you count those, I'm one of the best.
Oh no, I think the closest ultimate capture was with Scotty and Dale, who I think is 60. I don't know if he'll listen. If you listen to this, so I won't
Don't worry, no one
really
will.
say, but yeah, I think I pitched, and it was a perfect pitch. I'd never pitched like that before in my life. Just 15 kilo spin rod. This blue marlin comes up. We went looking for a stripe to get a slam, and what do we get? Like 350 kilo plus blue marlin, ate the guardie, and I'm just pitching to it going, holy crap, if I land this is a miracle. But yeah, it was the ultimate bite. I had it on, physically could not get it up. I had about
Been there.
two wraps of line left on the spool, and had to pass it over to Moi Moi, who's like twice my age, and he finished it off. We got a boat side, snapped the line, so we got no photo, no footage, no nothing, and no one really believed us. But
Just the
Yeah.
fish story.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that was probably the ultimate fish that I can remember that I didn't even get.
Rightio, you got anything more? Nah, you guys got anything to say?
No, just thanks for having us down here, Squirrely and
Nah.
Molly, and yeah.
Cheers for coming around. Thanks for
worries.
chumming up. And good luck on your next record or next adventure
Hopefully
or
we'll
next trip
be
to the
back.
toilet.
But yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Okay,
mate.
thanks.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you have enjoyed today's podcast, make sure to like us or follow on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to the Chumming Up pages. Also, give us a rating or review on your favourite podcast platform. And more importantly, get out, keep getting amongst it, and we'll catch you next episode.